Check 1 2 1 2. What's up? We in here. We are ready to go. What's up, fellas?
What it do?
Man, what's good? What's popping? What's cracking?
What's up, K-Bum?
Yo.
Man, it's been a minute, man. About a week. It ain't been too long. But welcome back to the show. We are here, and we got a show set up for you guys. We're going to talk about a few things. I'm trying to, I thought I had this set up right. I'm realizing I didn't. I didn't, man. I thought I did. But, so we here, man. Apologize for the hiatus. Your boy had to hit the road. But I appreciate, the Nias and different ones, checking in every week to see if we going to be live and leveled. But we here tonight. We going to talk about Microsoft and their contributions to gaming. We going to talk about Ratchet and Clank running on PCs. We also going to talk about PlayStation 5 Pro, is it too soon? And Pikmin 4 to round it off. But anyway, welcome to the show.
One hitter quitter, TKO.
What's up, y'all? Go ahead, y'all can talk, y'all. I'm
Hey.
introduced.
You said it hadn't been that long, but in that same time, Twitter don't change their name.
I know, man. I was on my phone looking for it. I'm like, where is Twitter? I'm like, I don't know what this X is, but I don't know where's Twitter.
Incognito, they gonna change
What
their name.
was the point of that?
Elon Musk has a love affair with the letter X. His first company was named X.com or something like that. So ever since since back in the day, he's always had a love affair with the letter X. And so that's his rebranding of Twitter, so he can make it his, right? So that's kind of the deal there.
But you're gonna leave everything else with tweet and all that. You ain't gonna change that.
No. It's you want to change. You want to change all of it. It's just the beginning.
That's stupid. Why did they sell it to Elon Musk? Anyway.
Because he bought it for way over market price. And they was like, yeah, I'll take that. How much?
How much you think they was making off Twitter?
Twitter is not a money making machine. It's not. That's not what it's there for.
Okay.
It's not there to turn a profit, and that's what he's finding out. That Twitter isn't there to turn a profit. It was never doing that. It was doing okay. It was meeting margins.
They advertise, don't they?
Yeah, but that's what happened when he took over Twitter. He lost practically half his advertising budget. Went away when he took over Twitter.
Okay.
And so that's why he's forcing everyone to go Twitter Blue, which is having the people pay for subscriptions, which is what YouTube does as well. YouTube does a little bit of both. They do subscriptions and they do ads. But most of YouTube money comes from ads. And that's what he lost.
Well, anyway. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. We are here. We rest to go. So I'm going to let a few more people jump in. Let us know who is here. I saw a few on. Let us know who is here so we can get this thing going. But yeah, man, I'm revived, I'm fresh, man. You know what I'm saying? Got a chance to kick my feet up, play some miniature golf and swim, and that was pretty cool, bro. Really good getting away. I see what K-Bum be doing, leaving so much. I get it now. So anyway, welcome to the show, man. All right, so I apologize. I'm trying to eat pizza at the same time, trying to talk to you guys, and my mouth ain't coordinated like that. So,
I'm curious.
What'd you say?
Pineapple in hand.
No, it's my wife, I don't know what she got on this. It got anchovies. It got
Lord,
not anchovies, but olives, black onions.
Black olives.
Olives, black onions. Black olives, onions, black olives.
Are you
All right, hold up, man. Slap us. K-Ball, you get a slap us. Keep interrupting. We rusty. We've been off for a couple of weeks. I got to get this right.
Man.
Black olives, onions,
olives,
mushrooms, and my wife don't even like mushrooms, so she must have did that for me. Ham, pepperoni.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's good.
Farmer's Market?
Domino's, to be exact.
No, I'm talking about that's what you call that. It's Farmer's Market. You got the whole market on your
I guess
on
so.
your pizza.
It's good, though. It is good. So, excuse
I'll
me.
take your word for it.
So, welcome back to the show. Oh man, I missed you guys last week. Well, I missed y'all on here. We talk every day just about. But anyway, missed getting up on the internets in these streets with you guys last week. It's a lot that done happened, so we not gonna catch everything. It's a lot that done took place.
Not everything.
So we not finna try to give y'all all the news. We gonna pick up exactly where we left off. So we gonna talk about that Microsoft conversation about what they contributed to gaming. They have sealed the deal, at least up to this point.
Extended it.
What done happened now, man? I saw something and I ain't want to deal with it, so they still haven't sealed it. What's going on now?
They're waiting for somebody else in UK.
Yeah,
They're waiting for somebody else in UK, and they pushed the merger extension out to October.
Yeah.
we knew that, didn't we? We already knew that, right?
Well, you just said they sealed the deal, so I don't know what you know.
Well, I said almost. They have almost sealed the deal.
Okay.
They got past the hurdle that was
Big
Sony.
hurdle.
They
No,
got
not
past the Sony
Sony.
hurdle.
FCC.
Okay, but I want to say Sony. I'm saying Sony. They got past the hurdle that was Sony.
That's
Anyway, so well, I guess we can't talk about that, but they close to sealing the deal. So who is the who that they waiting on in the UK?
UK. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe Keith has that information.
I do not.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure who that is.
Somebody in
I
the
don't know
comment
what
section,
for.
if y'all know the who that they waiting on, please let me know so we can call them and say, "Hey, y'all, go ahead and let these people do this so we
Get
can
this
stop
over
talking
with.
about this." Yeah. Also, we're going to talk about Pikmin 4. Keith Norris has the game. He's been playing it. He's been sending us videos talking about it's better than Tears of the Kingdom. I'm like, I gotta see. I'm messing. You did send us a video that the dude said it was better than Tears of the Kingdom, so I was like,
I didn't say that.
Keith, my bad. I misspoke. Keith didn't say it was better, but the video was kind of trying to argue for it being better. So we're going to talk about that. What's up, Dark Sun? No, that's not Dark Sun. DJ Fanatic, what's up? Welcome to the show. Let me slap myself. You wasn't Dark Sun. That is Dark Sun Rider. Anyway, slap yourself again. That's not good.
No, that's first name basis.
First name basis. Slap myself
Well, it's like
again.
yourself again.
I did. I slapped myself. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, First Name Basis, a.k.a. DJ Fanatic. That was a mess up on my part. I'm rusty, man. I told you I came off a good relaxing. As y'all can see, I am still relaxed, partly sleep. But we in these pieces. So we're going to talk about that. Let Keith take that over. Mr. K-Bun wants to talk about the whole situation with Ratchet and Clank running on PCs. He gonna talk about that in the SSD and what everything they found out about. Was it true or not that it could run on a PlayStation 4, which it can't. Anyway, so
Spoiler alert. That.
right. You know, it's out there. They know. But what else we gonna talk about? PlayStation 5. Is it too soon? PlayStation 5 Pro, is it too soon? So that's what we're going to be talking about. Did y'all catch the last episode of The Invasion?
Yeah.
Thoughts, man? Thoughts, man? Was this the proper conclusion or did they screw it up?
We have to do it without spoiling, but yeah.
Okay. They screwed it up?
Okay.
It was a weird way to end it. I'll say it was like it's been completely grounded up until this point. Then whoa, what?
Very grounded.
How did we get here? So
How did we get here?
What
Was
are
it
you
Deborah Cox?
drinking with the piece?
yeah.
Gatorade. And I don't like Gatorade like that, but that's what I'm drinking. Gatorade. I'm not drunk. I don't drink first name. Come on, bro. No drinking over here. Let me go and take a sip out of this foam cup. Go ahead. Go ahead, K-Pop. My bad. Go ahead.
No, man, it was a weird last 2 episodes. The last 2 episodes were weird, and I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. I loved the first 4. I loved everything about the first 4 episodes. It was, to me, the whole series was great. I love the grounded, as Keith said, but then they just went left field, man. With even the last 2 episodes, they were just all left field with it, and it wasn't. I don't know. They talked about they had a lot of reshoots, and I feel that really bothered the final 2 episodes with the reshoots, because even I saw a video when somebody was talking about when the one guy was on the highway and he had got shot, that his family member was actually there in that scene. And so, in one of the trailers, so that whole thing had to get reshot then. So I think that kind of ruined the flow of the last 2 episodes. So that's where I'll take it there.
Well, this was all shot before the strike, right?
It was COVID though.
Oh, COVID. Okay, all right, got you.
So it was before the strike, but around COVID.
Well, I agree with you. The last, I won't even say the last 2. Definitely the last one was left field. It was little uninspired. I would say I enjoyed the one before. I guess last week's episode was okay. It wasn't mind blowing, but it was okay. But this one was like, man, what did we forget what we was doing? Like, did we just lose the plot and just had to just heel toe it? It was off to me. It didn't feel like a conclusion. It didn't feel like Nick Fury. It just didn't feel right. Like, these were terrible moves, and I was like, man, this ain't making any kind of sense.
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
Keith,
The whole standoff piece didn't make sense. Like, we already know what's going on. Why is this? Why are we even having this conversation?
right?
Like, I didn't get it.
Keith, thoughts? What was your thoughts?
No, I just said it. It just, like I said, it was the show was grounded. Had some very, how can I say this? Interesting takes on like real life stuff that could be happening. Because I don't know if y'all saw the whole U.S. government thing, congressional. You know what I'm saying? So it could be like, hey, there could be some fake people in our government right now. Who knows?
That is weird. But y'all know there's been a lot of high-ranking government officials, and I shared that video with y'all from the Canadian dude that
I didn't get a chance to watch it all, but
watched it. That's 11 years. That's almost a decade ago. He was talking about it. Then you had
people are. I'm sorry.
You had him talking about that the government knew that we had made contact. Then you had the Israel dude saying that they are covering up that they have made contact. Now you got these dudes saying they have made contact. That's a lot of people saying. So,
That's a lot of people.
man, we in times that we never thought we would see. We said it.
We in times so bad that ain't even big news.
Right.
Right.
That's how bad
right.
times is right now, bro. It's not even big news. Oh, they said aliens are real. Oh, okay, so what else is going on? That's how bad
Right.
it is, bro.
Yeah, we just anyway desensitized, man. It ain't. But yeah. Anything else?
Oh man, I don't know if y'all got Apple TV, but Hijack. If you got Apple TV, man, check out that show Hijack. It's pretty good. Starring Idris Elba.
Ashy elbows. No.
Man, this last episode, I'm sitting there like, what just happened? And then it just goes off. I'm like, all right, y'all got
Wow.
me.
See, I
I'm
don't
ready for next.
I don't
I'm
have
ready
the
for.
Apple. I think my son has Apple TV. I may have to get him.
Yeah, borrow that from him and watch the show. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty
Did
good.
y'all go watch they cloned Tyrone.
Tyrone, not yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Bro, y'all gotta
Gotcha.
watch that. That's good. That's good.
Heard it's good. Heard it's
Yeah,
good.
it's real good. So anyway, we got the preliminaries out. We talk every day, so it ain't like we gotta go through a whole lot to dust off the shelf, so to speak. But so we gonna get into this first part, what you been gaming on, and then we gonna go into our topics for the night. So let's go. Yeah. You know what time it is. It's time for What Have You Been Gaming On? Sing it, folks. Let's go. Hey. What you been gaming on? 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 Gaming on, gaming on, gaming on. All right, so who want to go first? Who wants to take the first leg? Who on? Is it K-Bum, Mr. Norris?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll take first. First step. So what have I been gaming on? So I've been gaming on mostly the homies have come back out of the woodworks. So we've been getting it in on the NBA 2K, getting ready for the next version. The homies were MIA for about 3-4 months. They are back, and so we've been grinding some of our characters, just out there having fun, looking at these terrible people playing 2K now. All the good players must have gone because these dudes are terrible. So I've been doing that with the homies. Been still playing Midnight Suns. I'm still enjoying it. I'm about 36 hours in. Still enjoying the game. It is it's different. It's a lot of talking. I'm happy this isn't a Nintendo game because I would have been doing a lot of reading. So I'm happy.
Oh man, come on!
Happy for the
it's
voice
too
acting,
early for the Jazz, bro. Too early.
I'm happy that it is voice acted, but there's a lot of talking. There's a lot of half of it you feel like you're playing The Sims. Really, some of it is so much interaction with people and not even fighting. So, but other than that, I still like it. I think it's a good game. I'm enjoying it. It's different. Different doesn't mean bad, but I've been enjoying it. So I've been playing Midnight Suns, 2K, then little Overwatch, trying to get the Game Pass, get the Battle Pass up to level 80. So I've been popping that in, maybe once a day, get a couple games in and being done with it because, yeah, it's not as fun as it used to be. And then, when I got little, 20 minutes here or there, I pop in and play a game of FIFA. So I don't get too invested in anything. So that's pretty much what I've been gaming on. Just 2K, Midnight Suns, Overwatch, and FIFA.
Okay, all right. Mr. Norris.
Yes, sir. I've been gaming in my Beyonce voice. Still playing the same old games. Fist, Forge, whatever it's called, Forge. I didn't really play it. I haven't really been playing it recently, but still trying to get through that game. That Metroid type game that I talked about. Still playing Master Detective Archives, Rain Code, full title. I'm finally on chapter 4, and I'll tell you the truth. The story is getting hefty. The story is getting hefty. Yeah, it's some interesting things going on, and one of the main characters that's invisible may not be as invisible as we thought for the first 3 chapters.
Well, okay.
Don't know what that means yet. Haven't really dove deep, but I'll probably get into that this weekend. And we'll go ahead and have the Pikmin talk here. There's no need to go into it any further. I got you. Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 has finally released. If you got a chance to play the demo, everything that you did in the demo carries over.
Oh, nice.
Oh, then I need to go play that.
Oh, it's such a blessing. Yeah, go ahead. If you plan on playing Pikmin and if that demo gets you excited, please play the demo to get all of that tutorial stuff out of the way. I'm so thankful that I didn't have to do all this stuff over again. When you turn it on, it's going to say, hey, we found the save file. Do you want to continue? Yes. Boom.
Dope.
Absolutely.
Like that.
So, but yes, Pikmin 4, basically, you should know about the character Olimar from the first 2 games, I believe.
Nope. Don't know who that is.
Don't know who. Okay, so he was the main character of Pikmin 1, and I think I didn't play Pikmin 2, but I think he was also the main character in Pikmin 2. He was not the main character in Pikmin 3, which is also a fantastic Pikmin game. But in this game, you're out looking for him. He's sent out a distress beacon or whatever, and now you're out looking for him to bring him home, back to his family, so on and so forth. Let's see. So everything that you love about Pikmin returns. The strategy, knowing which Pikmin to divide up between your red Pikmin. They are invulnerable to fire. Your yellow Pikmin, electricity. The yellow Pikmin I think are better diggers, and you can throw them higher. The blue Pikmin they can resist water. And there may be some other things about them as well. Then you got the rock Pikmin, that means self-explanatory. Ice Pikmin, white Pikmin. The white Pikmin they can resist to like toxic acid and stuff like that. So you want them for that. You got the I don't know what they're called. The flying Pikmin. They can fly and they can carry things over. When you're picking up items or whatever and they're taking them back to the ship, they can carry things over. And then you got your purple Pikmin, which are like heavy, strong, buff Hulk type Pikmin. And they're like equal to like 10 of your regular Pikmin. And then they introduce is there any more? Okay, I think that's it. So the whole reason I went through that whole spiel is because you can't put your red Pikmin in the water; they'll die. You can't put any other Pikmin other than the ice and the water in the water. I'm sorry, the blue Pikmin in water, or they'll die. So you can't put your red Pikmin on electrical fences because they'll die. So you got to know which ones to pull out because you can only have out 3 at a time, 3 types at a time. And right now I got mine up to like 100 Pikmin out on the field at one time. So you got to know which ones to take with you. That's the strategy, right? And they also introduced another character, this little dog, and I'm pretty sure you saw it in the demo. His name is Ochi. Ochi kind of turns the game from a strategy to a strategy action game.
Okay, that's what I need right there. That's what I need.
Yeah, he changes the game because you can ride him. And historically, you can't jump in Pikmin games unless, like that. Think like Zelda, the old school Zelda games where Link couldn't jump, but he would jump when he's close to something because of the recorded action or whatever. With Ochi, you can jump. Not only can you jump, you can also send him out to attack. You can upgrade him like an RPG. You can use this little charge attack. And it's actually a pretty nice move. You charge up, he hits the enemy, taking health, and then all of your Pikmin jump off and start attacking the enemy at once. And depending on how strong your Ochi is, you can take enemies down pretty quickly. And all of you guys can ride on the back of Ochi and move around faster. But yeah, he changes the game. A very welcome gameplay change. And like I said, you can move him around, and you can upgrade him to move things. I think I got him up to the equivalent of 100 Pikmin. So if I got my Pikmin out doing things, and I still have Ochi, I'll send him to go do it. Right, so you can continue using your strategies, so on and so forth. In Pikmin 3, there was a lot more bosses that I noticed. In this game, it's not like this game is more relaxing. Pikmin 3 was like, you got to move. And let's go back. Pikmin 1, you only had 30 days to find all of Olimar's missing parts for his ship. So Pikmin 4 takes a completely different 180 turn, and like basically you can relax playing this game. Take as much time as you need. You still have to get so there's a day and night system, right? And I haven't even got to the caves and the depths and all that other stuff. So I'll get to that in just a second. But there's a day and night. So at nighttime, your regular Pikmin need to be back in their onions. That's where they stay. That's
Oh
where they
yeah.
live. That's what
Yeah,
they.
they
That's what
say
it's
in
called.
onions, man. Yeah, man.
So they need to be back in their onions. So while you're out, strategizing and trying to find different pieces or whatever. This boy don't turn my keys around. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my keyboard and just realized my son don't turn my keys around. Anyways, while you're out, you need to also be paying attention to see how late it is in the day, because if your Pikmin are caught out there doing things, they're going to die. Like immediately. They're going to instantly die. So you got to, be paying attention to the time, gather them up, and bring them back to the ship. So it's a lot of moving parts, right? It's a lot of moving parts. So let me say these last two things and I can wrap it up here. So you got caverns or caves or whatever you got. So in the game, you're going to find these little areas where you go down into these, what's that game that came out? Captain Toad. In these Captain Toad-like areas, right? These little small slices of an environment, and you have to navigate and get all the pieces, and you're normally down there finding missing people, because you're also looking for missing people. And oh man, there's so much to talk about. Hold on, I just thought about a whole bunch of stuff that I need to talk about. So you're down there, but when you're down there, the time only moves 1/6 of the time. So when you come back, it really seems like it hasn't moved. But anyways, you're down there, and you only have a limited number of Pikmin. Right, there are Pikmin down there. Sometimes you'll get Pikmin that you can't even make yet, like the purple Pikmin. Like I can't make those yet. I haven't found their onion yet, but I do have them because I've been in the caves and I've gathered them up and brought them back with me. But when you're down there, you can't make new Pikmin. So whatever you have, that's what you have. And if you lose them all, then you can't complete the mission. Or you can utilize this feature that I don't think they should have put in there. It's called the rewind feature. In the rewind, you could take it back maybe like a minute or two before you lost all your Pikmin, so you can rethink your strategy, right?
So this is basically like they borrowed some stuff from. It seemed like they borrowed some elements from Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
So you're down there, but it's not all connected.
Yeah.
But yeah. But okay, so let's see, what else can I talk about? The Dandori. Dandori are battles, so you can play 1-player, 2-player. Dandori battles. So basically, you're playing the main game as you normally do, but you're going out and trying to beat the other player like a sport. And literally, they could, if they wanted to, remove this part from the game and make it into an esport. It is really that competitive, and it really is that good, because you're basically playing the game or strategizing against either a computer or another player. My son literally beat me. He beat me. I wasn't even playing with him. Like, I'm just gonna let him win. No, he beat me. Because they also had this bomb on there, so you could take the bomb and you'll get this message across the screen that says incoming bomb, and then that goes into your onion, and then it blows up all of your points. So basically, think like a basketball game, and then somehow all your points went away, and then they're all spread out on the court. So you got to work fast to put all of your points back in your onion, and while you're doing that, the other player is still scoring, right? So there's a lot of defensive strategy type things. You can even stop the player by using these Mario Kart specials. So they got a lot of elements that they use in their other games in the Dandori battles. You should look them up. I don't know if I did it justice on explaining it, but it's really challenging.
Like Dr. Mario. You ever played Dr. Mario, where it's basically like Tetris, but as the pills are dropping, if you get so many, it drops a bomb on the other side, or it causes more to drop on their side. What you're doing on your side affects what they're doing. I don't know if you ever played.
I guess you could say that. I didn't. I looked at Dr. Mario and said, I'm not playing this.
Okay. It's actually it's actually fun when you get into the competitive part.
Back in Nintendo days.
It's fun.
Okay.
It's competitive.
It was.
Okay, but okay. So anyways, so the Dandori battles, please look those up. They're actually pretty cool. It's actually really, really fun. And the last thing, and I promise I'm gonna shut up here. This is my review. The last thing is the nighttime missions. Now, I thought you were going to be able to go out at night when it's dark and go explore. That's not what these are. They're basically glorified salmon runs where you're protecting your home base. And in the nighttime portion, you get a different Pikmin, a completely different one called a glow Pikmin. Now, these Pikmin do not die. However, you can lose them. They just go back. They're basically energy form Pikmin, and they're literally glow Pikmin. And you have to protect what is it called? I can't even think of but just think of like the home base of like a real-time strategy game, right? Or like I said, Salmon Run, and you got to protect your base. You can set Ochi there to circle the base to protect, and then you can go out and try to make more of the glow Pikmin, and then you'll start having incoming enemies, and you got to defend. Now, early on, I was like, "This is stupid. I don't want to do this." It was super easy. Then the more you go, they started introducing more difficult enemies. There's this one enemy that instantly kills your Pikmin if you don't do it right. And then it was just one. And then they started sending two. And I was like, okay, I see what you're trying to do, Nintendo. This is really challenging. But the whole purpose of the nighttime missions is because the space guys, the recruits or whatever they're called, they've gone to this planet, and they became leafy versions of themselves. And with that glow goop or whatever it's called, you use that to turn it into a pill that restores them. It's like an antidote, and you bring them back to who they used to be. So that's the whole purpose of you going out at night. And there's a main character that you have to do that for as well. And you have to go out at night to even beat portions of the game. And but that's Pikmin. I mean, I said everything that you do in the game. I believe there's so much more strategy. I think, did I talk about Ice Pikmin?
No, go ahead.
Okay. You got Ice Pikmin as well, and you can use them to freeze bodies of water, which are come in handy, super handy. And I think that's it. I give the game a 9 out of 10. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not even gonna lie. I've been flying through the story portions. I haven't been listening to them at all. I just been pressing story, which is good because I just want to get back out there and play the game. But I give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's a really good game. I think anybody who's tired of the main shooters, the fighters, all the other stuff, man, give Pikmin a try. If you got a Switch, just go play the demo. If I'm lying, I'm flying. I think everybody that's giving it their praise is well deserved. And there's some Miyamoto interviews you should go look at where he says, "I don't understand why this game doesn't sell better or doesn't perform better, because it really is that good. It really is."
I think far as the reason it doesn't sell is I think how it's marketed. It's marketed nichely. It's not marketed like they would do Odyssey or Zelda. It's treated like a mid-tier title. I think if they, like you said, one of the things you complained about was the reading and
yes,
not having any voice chat. Like you was like, this game needs voice chat. So I think if Nintendo and Miyamoto would actually set Pikmin up as to be a Nintendo AAA title, I think it will sell better. But it's how they market it. But you got me intrigued because one of my issues, I never finished Pikmin. I started out being into it. It's always all of them. I played every Pikmin except for 2. I didn't play Pikmin 2. I played 1 and 3. I skipped 2 because I didn't play 1. I didn't beat 1. My brother did. My brother got off into Pikmin. Like, my younger brother is into that strategy and management. He was into it. I was, but after a while, I was like, it got too chory for me. So I kind of clocked out. And trying to management, seeing the Pikmin getting ate up, trying to carry the little coins and different contraptions of Omar's ship, and I was like, oh man, this is chory. This is not fun. So the third one, I enjoyed the third one, but I got pretty far into it, and again, it was just taking a little too long for me to get to the conclusion, and then the boss fights in 3 were super challenging. Like they was they was hard. Them boss fights was real hard. So I think I got I was about over halfway through the game. So that's why I've been kind of on the fence with getting 4. So, but you kind of making me feel like I may want to give it a try. I tried the demo again, but that's what's up, man. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's a good game. It's a good game.
So I guess I'll do my part of what I've been gaming on. So first, y'all know that they dropped that 5th wave of tracks for Mario Kart 8. So I did get a chance to check those out. And I'm gonna say they are some nice tracks. I'm not finna sit here and try to name all of them, but me and my girls played through them, and I would say these were a little bit more detailed than the last 2 waves. I thought these tracks were a lot better than those the tracks that came in wave 3 and wave 2. I mean wave 4 and wave 3. So we played that. I played some Ninja Turtles. Shredder Revenge, and I'm gonna explain why I'm saying that because I got something else to share. So I went out and I was trying to make up my mind on what I was gonna buy since I beat Tears of the Kingdom. I kind of feel out of place. I feel like I don't have a point for gaming anymore because the game that I've been waiting on. I'm serious. Like I'm not motivated. Like Tears of the Kingdom was, man, we just was waiting on that game and it just kept my morale up and my desire for gaming up. It's now that I beat it, it's over and I'm like past it. It's like, do I really want to play this trash that's all these other companies are, I'm just messing. But I have felt a little displaced since I beat Tears of the Kingdom. So I was kind of contemplating what am I going to buy next. K-Bum suggested Star Wars Survivor. And I went out there and I looked at the price and I said, no, I ain't trying to spend that much right now. So I was looking at some other titles, trying to find something that may scratch the itch. So I have been wanting to see what this particular game was about. And my brother had it, and I was trying to share our, how do you and your brother do that, K-Bun, where y'all link up y'all system?
Game share.
Yeah, game share.
Yeah. I
was trying to do that with him, but trying to catch up with my younger brother is like trying to catch, it ain't happening. So I went out there and I bought Horizon Forbidden West. And I've been playing it, and it looks good. It does look good. It's just dry. Is that a fair way to describe it? It's a dry game. You could tell it's supposed to be big time. It feels big time. It feels major. It's just like something is missing. I don't know what it is. It's lacking something. K-Bun, would you agree with that?
Oh, I at a certain part of the game, I'm like, I do not care what else is going on or happening. I just want this game to end. Because I spent too much time in the first part because I thought that was what you were supposed to do, and I overdid how much time I spent in a certain area, and then the map really opened up, and I was like, oh crap, I'm not gonna do that in all these areas. And then it got to a point where I was like, nope, don't care, nope, skip. I'm not a cutscene skipper, and I was skipping cutscenes, and something happened. Like, oh, I probably should have. Let me reset the game. I probably should have paid attention to that one.
Let me ask this: does the story kind of starts off? Doesn't it start off kind of wonky and
yes?
Unimaginative, just kind of like, okay, y'all, this how y'all starting it? Like, like y'all, almost like we don't really care. We just want y'all to see the visuals. That's how I felt.
No, I feel like they really thought they were doing something.
You did?
No, I felt like no. They put a lot of effort into the story. It just didn't matter. They put a lot of effort into the story.
It felt to me like you said, it didn't matter, and they was rushing us through it. Like they like the intro to this game was trash, like absolute. Like it takes you out of the game.
It wasn't a good intro.
Yeah, it's like it was rushed. You was skipping stuff. It's talking, but they ain't tying it to nothing. She looking at stuff and it don't matter. You don't care. It's like, what is this? What kind of introduction to the game is this?
It gets better after the world opens up.
Okay, I'm gonna keep
It does
playing.
get better. It is a more intriguing story once the world opens up, and that's what
Okay.
keeps you playing.
Well, I'm gonna keep playing. I'm gonna keep playing. So I played that. I'm gonna try to get through. So because we already at 40 minutes, so we ain't got through what you gave it up.
Good Lord.
Hey. Well, Keith already handled one of the topics, so we good. So I also, K-Bum, I did something that you'll be proud of your boy. So since I was up in, at the resort kicking my feet up, I took both systems. I wasn't going to take the PlayStation 5, but I knew some of my family members going to come. And so I thought, you know what, they're going to want to play some Madden and some
It's not
Duke.
as portable. As
It ain't. It's not. This thing is a chore to lug around. So the Switch is just simple. Just hit that. There you go. Let's go. But this thing was a chore. So anyway, I played Madden 22. Yeah, I'm behind. But we played some Madden 22.
Sorry.
There's no need to be about to doing it. They all the same. Anyway, so
What roster is this?
Wow.
I played
Wow.
Madden. I played Madden 22, and I'm trash. I don't have none of my skills like I used to have. At least I was okay. I'm not nowhere near that anymore. I'm trash at this game. I couldn't even remember how to boost. So I played that. And I went and did something today. Remember I said Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. I played a lot of that over the weekend. And, I am a beat-em-up fan. What did he say? The Second Horizon. Yeah, the Second Horizon Forbidden West. I'm a beat-em-up fan. So now that all these titles, and we're going to talk about this in another podcast, the revival of the beat-em-up and what that means for gaming. We'll talk about that another time. But when Streets of Rage was revived and brought back, I was on that. And it's still the best. It's still the best of the ones that's been making a return. But then Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. We even got K-Bum and his brother was on that. I'm on there playing with them. I bought it on both the Switch and the PlayStation 4. 5. I'm tripping. I'm just spending money I don't got. My wife is holding on for dear life like, boy, you buy something else. Anyway. So today, one of my favorite beat-em-ups of all time has made a return. And I was contemplating, was I going to get it, because I really wasn't feeling the visuals. But you know how your boy is. I get to watching stuff on YouTube. And I get that itch. And your boy went out and bought Double Dragon, Gaiden Rise of the Dragons. I went and bought it.
Mercy.
I downloaded it.
Sucker for beat 'em ups.
I am, but I'm a sucker for beat 'em ups, man. That was my youth. That was where it was. And it's good, bro. It's good, man.
For real?
One thing I do like about it is it's not 4-player, but they allow you to pick 2 characters at once, and you can switch out.
Oh, okay.
It's a game that's as you progress, you can go to any boss you want to go to at first. But depending on what boss you go to, other bosses get more powerful because you make them another boss. So the AI gets harder as you progress. So it's a strategy in what path you take first, because some bosses change and get more powerful. They mutate and take on different abilities depending on when you fight them. So I haven't learned everything about it. It's hard. It's a lot of generated characters on the scene. They ain't waiting on you. They relentless. I didn't even beat the first stage. I got thrashed. So I plan on going back up there. It's not as the combat is not as what's the word? As involved as a Streets of Rage. It's not that deep in the combat system, but it's good. I would say it was about where Ninja Turtle is without the flipping and all the some of the other things you can do on Ninja Turtles. is about where Ninja Turtles combat system is. The visuals grew on me. I'm enjoying the game, but like I said, I only played about 45, 50 minutes because I just got it today. And I wanted to have it to kind of let y'all know that I bought it. So
Okay.
yeah. So I did another thing. I did another thing,
Lord,
man.
another one.
I told y'all.
Another one.
I told you I've been
Spending
displaced.
money you don't
I'm
have.
lost as a gamer. I'm trying to figure out what's gonna scratch the itch. So as I was downloading Double Dragon, Gaiden, I was in the eShop just looking at stuff and came across this title that was only $1.99.
$1.99.
But it looked good. It used to be $14.99. It was on sale. And, I was like, $1.99? Hey, I'll give it a shot. So I downloaded this game called Real Boxing 2. I haven't played it yet. But I'm going to let y'all know. Yeah, it is a game. Y'all ain't. Look it up. Y'all gonna be like, "Level, that ain't even worth $1.99."
You said it's $1, so
it was only $1.99.
Actually, the Last of Us game. What was that game called? Keith, that we making fun of.
Oh man,
the end of time. What was that game called?
I can't even remember what that game was called. But
here's the thing, though. Nintendo give you points for every game every digital game you buy. You get points.
Boy, why you buy this?
Keith, it was only $1.99, man. So I was like, hey, I'll give it a good
still get your money back.
But guess what?
Get your money
Guess
back.
what? I actually only spent 45 cents on it because I had so many points. It covered like 75% of the title. So I got it for like 35, 40 cents, something like that. So I'm gonna try it out when I get upstairs. Yeah, I'm bragging, man. I'm ready to play real boxing too. So
okay, I gotta look this up.
You're gonna look it up.
First of all, I appreciate you for even doing this because that's one of my talking points when we get to the pro. But boy. It was only 40 cents, bro. That's some now laters, bro. Now laters cost more than that. And now laters got more physics in this game too.
It looked okay. I saw. So anyway,
what did you just do?
Hey man, y'all want to see what it looked like? I'll pull it up.
This is not fight night.
No, it's not. I'll pull it up and let y'all see it. But anyway, so your boy did a thing. Hey, I was feeling good. I got my Double Dragon in. I knew I was coming on here to talk, so I was like, let me go ahead and try this. Hey, it ain't gonna hurt nothing to spend $1.99 on this title. End up only spending 40 cents on it. So hey man. I can't even wash my car. I can't even put air in my tire for 40 cents. So I feel like it was a deal. So anyway, let's get into these topics. So we had talked about having a conversation about Microsoft and the fact that we wanted to talk about their contributions to the gaming industry. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I was looking for stuff, and I really didn't. I came across the stuff, but I'm like, I'm gonna kind of lean on y'all for this topic. But Keith, I'm gonna bring you in. So we gave Sony their praise, we gave Nintendo their praise, and it seemed like Microsoft was figuring it out. Hopefully, if they finally can secure this Activision deal, they would have figured it out. So we felt like it was only fair, to talk about their contributions to gaming. So I'm going to give the floor to Keith.
Because we've been flaming them.
Yeah, we've been flaming them hard.
Fired.
So we feel like it's time to make it up to old Microsoft. One thing I do like about what Microsoft is they're not finna try to make a new SKU. We're going to talk about that here in a second, but they already promised that they're not looking to make. What'd you say?
I said, shout out to K-Bone. He called it.
Yeah, they already said they not finna make another system or a pro or anything like that. So we'll talk about that with Sony. But come on through here, Keith, and start this conversation off. What are some of the contributions to gaming that we owe to Microsoft? Because we left them out of that conversation about Nintendo versus Sony. So it was only fair to do this. Go ahead.
Correct. So, let me just say the reason I wanted to talk about this because I wanted to know. I could have looked it up on my own, but I also wanted to talk to it with the fellas, and because I don't know everything, and some of the things is going to go over my head. So I watched. My main source was what was that? It's on YouTube. It's called Play On or Xbox Play or whatever. I can't remember what it was, but it's like a 6-part documentary. Go check it out. It's going to tell you everything that I'm about to try to sum up in this little thing here. So the initial thing, you have to go back to the Sega Dreamcast, right? And I'm not trying to give the whole story, but I'm just going to give it a little intro. You have to go back to the Sega Dreamcast. You remember Windows CE. If you remember on the Sega Dreamcast, it says powered by Windows CE. Well, come to find out, it's not actually running Windows CE. It's running like a variant of Windows CE. So Sony had came up with the PS2. Have to go back. One of the things that they marketed was this is the death of the PC, right? This is the death of the PC, and Bill Gates didn't like that, and he came to his team and he's,
Shots fired.
Shots fired. It was Sony was so so Bill Gates, what are we going to do about this, right? So naturally, the Windows CE team, because everybody has their own departments, developers, software developers, everybody has their own specific roles within Microsoft in this company. You got the Microsoft Outlook and Word and all them.
Office team.
Office. Yeah, thank you. Office team. You got now I'm thinking about now, but back then you had the Windows CE, and then you had this little team called the DirectX, right?
DirectX.
DirectX. They had a DirectX team. So naturally, Windows CE was like, "Hey, we've already been working with the Dreamcast. We know what to do." And the DirectX team was like, "We can do this. Plus, we want to be able to bring PC development to the console." That's number one. They wanted to bring PC development to the console. Before, developers had their dev kits, and it was in different languages. People didn't understand how to read it, so they couldn't make the games that they wanted to make. That's why the Japanese market was crushing the U.S. market at that time, because the dev kits, they didn't know how to develop for these systems. But the DirectX, they did know how to develop for, or they could have taken.
They've been doing it with PCs, right?
Yeah, so they wanted to take their PC games and bring them to the console. Hence, DirectX, and the DirectX came up with a box. All right, so code name DirectX box. It's in the name. So DirectX
in the name. Look at this dude.
It's in the name. So you can thank Microsoft. You can thank Xbox for PC development coming to and making it easier, bridging that gap for PC development to consoles. That's number one. So
let's go back and kind of go back and forth. Like you give some, I can go.
Go ahead. You got more than that?
I got another one I wanted to add, so we can kind of go back and forth. So the first one I wanted to call out, and is kind of the obvious one. I want to just get the obvious one out of the way. Their main contribute to gaming, and part of the biggest contribute outside of that what you're talking about. I think that's probably the biggest, but the second biggest in my book is online gaming. They were the first to take us into the realm of online gaming successfully. So they were I don't think they were the first to have the capability to do online gaming in that fashion, but they were the first to be successful at online gaming. What they brought was a account system with the online gaming. That's something that had never been done before. And they also brought over centralized servers, right? Mm-hmm. Because previously every game had to have their own servers, right? Because when I played NBA Live or Madden on the PS2 with a little adapter, EA had to provide their servers in order for you to play. But when Microsoft came into the game, and when they had their own Xbox Online, it actually brought online to a place where it is now, right? It's a evolution of what they've done, and they kind of started that path. And so a lot of our online gaming efforts and what we've been doing and the success of online gaming has to do with Microsoft and Xbox, because they showed us how to do it, not just how to do it right. And so they get all the kudos for that. And I have some other pieces about online, but I'll circle back to that at another time because I think that's another topic. But we got to give them their props when it comes to online gaming because they brought us into the 21st century when it came to that in consoles.
Team Slay.
Yes, sir.
All
Yeah,
right,
but you
Keith.
want to add anything
Nah,
to that? Because
I
just want
told
to
you
say.
I'm leaning on y'all on this one. I was on vacation, man. I was so I don't have nothing but to listen and piggyback off y'all. So go ahead.
Yeah, so the thing that Kayvon was talking about is the thing that I think they just got rid of. It's called Xbox Live Gold. I think that's what it
Yes.
was. Oh, well, no, it was the Xbox Live.
Xbox Live.
was
Gold
Xbox
was when they
Live.
started adding different features and cost saving methods to their online service.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, so the next thing, like you said, and for anybody who's listening and want to say, well, no, the Dreamcast, blah, 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 blah. No, there was not a unified account system on the Dreamcast.
Nope.
So you can thank Microsoft for that.
Yes,
the
you
next
can.
thing you can thank Microsoft for hard drives. We had memory cards up until this point. Nothing but and the Xbox had memory cards.
I didn't think
But-
that was. I didn't. Okay, you
You
showed enough light on
right.
that.
We didn't have hard drives.
All right,
I mean,
hold up. Hey,
right.
man. Keith, you coming in with the Cobra
but you
Clutch
know-
on this joint?
Right.
I told you I was ready. I was
All
ready.
right, okay.
So
All right,
now
hard
you
drive.
can save games, the bigger games, more files to these games, and we know how we utilize that today. You know what I'm saying? We putting whole games on the hard drive now. We didn't have that before. Everybody had their memory cards, and those memory cards, and hard drives can too, but those memory cards used to get corrupt. I mean, I had
Yeah.
so many memory cards that got corrupt.
So many, bro.
So that's another contributing factor that they brought to the gaming industry that we previously didn't have. And I'll pass it on to K-Mo.
I like that one.
That was.
I didn't have that one on my list though. Okay, I like that. So, another one I want to give them credit for, and this is something that I utilize even well after the original Xbox. So the original Xbox shipped with what was called Xbox Media Center, and what it allowed you to do, it was an improvement on what Sony had. Sony allowed you on the first PlayStation to be able to play CDs. It wasn't music CDs, but it wasn't a real interface for it. But on the next system, which is the PS2, you did have DVDs, but you didn't have this media center that you had on the Xbox. And what happened was people actually made some modifications to it. And you could install these modifications on your Xbox to add like the visual. Remember that old school back in the day in the media player, they had that visualizer that would make music into a visual form, right?
Yeah.
They had that on the Xbox, and so you can actually add this Xbox Media Center onto your Xbox, which then allows you to play downloaded movies, allows you to stream movies. It gave you access to what pay-per-view events. Like it became, I don't know if everyone actually know this, but it became Kodi. You ever heard of Kodi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kodi is this media player that was originally the Xbox Media Center. And Kodi has been used to put on phones before phones had media centers.
Yeah.
It was on PCs before PCs really had the extensive media center. It was an all-in-one that allows you to play. It even had extensions, which allowed you to watch live TV on your PC or live TV on your Xbox, and it all came out of the Xbox Media Center. It was an evolution of that, and so they were the one that introduced that. They allowed it to be easily modified and modders added to it, and Kodi grew up to be for a long time, 10-some years, the most popular media app in the industry for maybe 10 years. It was number one, but it all started from Xbox.
Okay.
So
All
I'm gonna
right,
go
y'all.
back.
They taking y'all to school with the Xbox contributions. Now I hope y'all listen up. Go ahead, Keith. because I didn't do no homework. I failed this class. Go ahead.
No, you probably know something. You probably just ain't thinking about it. But
I ain't. Something come to me, but I didn't. Something. I hope so.
I want to go back to Xbox Live because what year was it? Was that 2020, 2001,
2001.
2002?
2001.
Xbox Live before Facebook, and it was before MySpace. Xbox had the first live community, and you know what else we could do in that community? Voice chat.
Dun, dun, dun.
Voice chat. Before Microsoft, there was no voice chatting. There was no voice chat. One, because we didn't have good enough servers, but
you steady dropping them bombs. You hear them bombs now.
It was voice chat with the Xbox communicator. Had the headset. That's how they marketed. I was watching those commercials, and it was like, "Yo, I'm getting together with the fellas, and we playing the games, and we talking blah blah blah." Yo, nope, we weren't doing that before the Xbox. We take it for granted today, except on Nintendo.
I was just about to say some consoles though.
Yeah, Keith, you could let Nintendo slide, man.
I could have let them slide, but I didn't want to. But yeah, voice chat, man, voice chat. That's something that we weren't doing.
That is
okay.
True.
I think I got one, but I'm not for sure. Was Microsoft the first to introduce the offset with the dual analogs?
Were they the first?
I
want to say they were.
I cannot remember the history of controllers.
Or was that the GameCube controller?
It came out. Xbox came out before the GameCube, so
that is true.
Technically, yes, but I don't know if Dreamcast had a modified version of their controller.
I want to say they was the first to have the offset dual analog.
I'll give it to Microsoft. I can't think of who else before them.
It wasn't the Dreamcast controller because I don't think it had dual analog on the Dreamcast.
No, it didn't. But I know they probably came out with an additional one because the PlayStation 2 had dual, and I know they was trying to compete. So I don't know.
Okay, that was one in my head was the dual offset. They was the first to introduce that, and I know
you might be right.
I think Nintendo had the C. Nintendo with the GameCube had the C stick. I don't know which was first. I want to say Microsoft though. Go ahead though. That's my one. If I'm right, that's my one contribution for Microsoft. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So just want to say, do your job level. Fred in the chat. Say what's up to Fred.
Oh, I'm blocking. What's up, Fred?
One hitter quitter. TKO.
Welcome to the show. My soda was blocking the screen. I didn't see it. Welcome to the show, bro.
No problem. Welcome, Fred. So, I'm piggybacking off of my initial conversation about Xbox Live. And I know, so I'm giving them this not because it was the first, but for years, it was the best. And I have to give it to them because I was a huge Sony fan until this game dropped and it chose. Oh no, it was way different. It was way different, brother. Okay. It wasn't your level how you were a Nintendo hater.
No, don't do that.
They hated everybody else.
Nintendo
love. No, well, come on,
was
brother.
Way worse than me.
I had every system. Don't do that. I had every system except for Nintendo.
I did too.
No, but you had to be forced to. Anyway, let's go back to it. So I had to give them credit because in the dorms, there was one game being played. If you heard people screaming, Halo. It was one game being played, and that was Halo. Yeah. We have to give them credit for the ballooning of online gaming was because of this game. Now they're not the first to have an online game because was N64 with that online? They're not sorry, not online, but they weren't the best when it came to the shooter, the first person shooter, because GoldenEye is the Godfather, right? But it didn't have the LAN parties like Halo did. It now they had the split screen the four split screen, but man, when you got 4 people in this room, 4 people in this dorm, 4 people in this dorm,
Keith, everybody. When I tell you, that's when I'm be honest. and I had to come up. Cape, I'm glad you said what you said, because my first time experience that was at Dearmont when y'all all had was over there, and I was like, man, what's going on? They was so everybody's in their own room, and it's the whole floor.
The entire floor, bro.
It's on Halo in each room, and you hearing people scream, and they reacting to K-Bum unshot somebody. You can hear them yelling down, oh, they saying his real name. Or you hear Zeke over here yelling, and it was all one floor, and it was all Halo in each dorm room playing Halo. I remember that. That's when I knew, no, this ain't something you can just wipe off as something, nothing. This is something. This has never before been done. So yeah, I had to concur with that one.
This is different, bro. And LAN parties on the console, that's Xbox. That is the popularity of it. Like I said, it's probably not the first, and I'll admit to that. But the popularity of online gaming is because of the Xbox. I don't think Sony could have made online gaming what it is by himself, because they weren't going at it with the right approach. Xbox was. They had the right approach and they had the right game, and that was Halo. So I gotta give them credit, because there are plenty of hours I spent playing Halo on somebody else's Xbox.
Yeah.
But I give them credit for it, man. It was they changed the game.
Nice.
I concur there. Go ahead.
So this next feature, for years was like, what's the point of this? This is stupid. Why are we doing this? Who cares? And I think back all those years I was playing on my little Nintendo consoles, my N64 and my GameCube and my Wii, and I said to myself, there is no record of me actually playing these games other than my memories. But on Xbox, you had this little thing called achievements. Now everybody has achievements except Nintendo. Nintendo is not on this list for anything that Microsoft has brought to the table. Hard drive,
we can make it through without the Nintendo slander, bro.
I'm making
slander them, man. Slander.
No, but yeah, achievements. I don't care how you feel about it.
Yeah,
because with on the Xbox you got your gamer score, and I think PlayStation has a version of it too.
Now they do, yeah.
But this is the reason why PlayStation has a version of it, because Microsoft introduced it to us in the form of achievements. And like I said, you don't have to like it. It's not for everybody. I agree. I believe that. However, it is very nice to look back over the things that you have accomplished in these video games, because we spend hours, bro, playing these video games, doing these things, and to not technically receive anything from it. It's kind of like a resume. You know what I'm saying? You can't deny me that I didn't play Mass Effect on both the 360 and the PS3. It's still there. The information is still there. I don't have either one of those consoles anymore, but that time that I played and the things that I achieved in that game are still there. So kudos to Microsoft.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good one. That's definitely something that they can own.
So that's all the contributions?
Oh no, I'm not done. I know Keith ain't done.
Oh, you're not done? Okay, go ahead.
No, we're not done. All right. So this one is a little on the naughty side. Right. This contribution was not anything they set out to do, but it was something that occurred because of the ease and the proximity of it is to a PC. What Xbox did, because before Xbox, and it was very hard to mod consoles. Very hard. At that point, you had hard modding, which means you had to open up the system and mod it with a mod. You would have to mod the actual motherboard in order to get it to, play illegal games or do something else with it. But Xbox, the first Xbox, I think first Xbox, and this is what my Xbox got the most use out of it. What they were allowed to do and what people actually found out was soft modding, and that's the ability to mod the console with software and not hardware. And this is something that was not doable on Nintendo. It was not doable on the Sony system. It was only doable to the Xbox system. And so, what you can do, because you had quote unquote soft modding with PlayStation, but there were plenty of stories of bricking PlayStations by using soft mods. And I know me personally, I wasn't going to brick my PlayStation trying to soft mod it, but the Xbox, fairly simple how to do it. And what you had after you were done was a system that you can literally play any game on off of a CD, because they also changed the way the games were formatted, and you can play any game you wanted on your original Xbox. And so, like I said, it's not anything truly that they set out to do, but it was kind of an occurrence because of the way they created Xbox, and you had this explosion in the modding community because of what the Xbox was able to do, and that also bred to, as I mentioned early, the Kodi, the Xbox Media Center, and how that actually became a life on its own was because of the ability to soft mod and add applications and software to your Xbox. So to me, it was a huge win for the Xbox, and that's how my Xbox got played the most. But I thought that was something that a byproduct of Xbox being what it is, that really did something in support of the gaming community. So something a little different.
All right, so I see it's 9:30, so I'm gonna try to shoot off a few more, and then I don't know how many more K1 got.
I wasn't expecting it to be this many, but I'm shocked. I am totally shocked.
So I'm gonna give two here because I don't. Can I get to? I'm reading myself now. I'm gonna bring up the Kinect. Now I know for gaming.
The iToy first though, wasn't it?
Huh?
Wasn't the iToy kind of the first hands-free?
Right.
The iToy was first, but it wasn't the Kinect.
I know it wasn't. I'm just saying first. But go ahead.
But okay, so I'm gonna bring up Kinect, and mind you, a lot of this for me, I saw a lot of this stuff, and for me, it wasn't about being first. It was about either bringing it to the console space or revolutionizing gaming with it. Because they weren't first in online, but they revolutionized it.
Right, I got you.
Right. With some of the tools they used. But anyways, Kinect. Now for gaming, I don't think it ever really took off per se for gaming. But in that video, that 6-part documentary, they talked about they use it for research in augmented reality, and they talked about it aiding for a rehabilitation of stroke victims and autistic children.
Wow.
And so for me, I was like, that's huge. That's something, not even, I don't even know if the Wii at the time was doing that. Maybe, Wii Plus Motion or whatever it was called, but I thought that was pretty dope and just wanted to add that to it. And I also wanted to go back to the account system, because we all know that they also gave us the red ring of death. Now, that's not a contribution. Well, I'm not saying that's a contribution. However, any other company that suffered that would have died. If PlayStation would have had a red ring of death, they would have died. If Nintendo would have had a red ring of death, I don't care about no war chest, they would have died. And the reason Microsoft didn't die, one, they had the money to repair consoles. Number one, and it cost them $1 billion to do it. Number two, they had already supplanted the account system. So no matter what happened to your console, your account is in the cloud. You're good. Everybody was mad. I mean, they had everybody on from Snoop. They had what's the Angry Joe dude? He was on there.
I had to send my Xbox off. Yeah.
They had you on there. You know what I'm saying? they had everybody on there.
They sent me. I called. I had a red ring of death, and I had my wife then. I think she was my girlfriend at that time. She wasn't my wife, but I had the box sent to her apartment, and when I got over there, I had to package it up, send it off, and they shipped it back to me in about 2-3 weeks. It took a while. At least 2-3 weeks before they sent it back to me. But yeah, I had the red rings of death. Came home and it
like I
just
said,
wouldn't turn on, and them three rings showed up at the top of my on the 360, right?
Yeah, 360.
Yeah. Showed up at the top of my thing. It wouldn't turn on. It was hot. They said you could wrap it in a towel and it'd turn on. It did a couple of times, but I went on to call the Xbox and I ain't had to pay nothing. Not even shipping costs.
Yeah, they foot the bill, literally. One bill to write that ship. And that's why I
So
said
1 billion.
anybody else, they'd be out to come from Sega. Sega couldn't survive success.
That's funny.
All right. All right,
Okay.
K-Ball. Every
Let
6
me-
months had to send in was like a countdown. So you had to send it in. That meant I only had to do it once. It only happened to me once, and then after that I traded it in when I got my. What did I trade that 360 for? I traded it in for something. I can't remember what system I traded in. I don't know if it wasn't my PlayStation 3. I think it might have been my. I traded it in for something. I can't remember. But go ahead, K-Bone.
No problem, man. So it's funny. I never had the red ring of death, but I did have my PlayStation did die. My PS3 died. So I didn't have red ring of death, but my PlayStation died. All right. So let me kind of knock a couple out the box. So I'm gonna say this one because they do this better than anybody. And they're not the first, but they're the best. Is backwards compatibility. They are the best at backwards compatibility. Not only do they know what game you played, they, for some reason, somehow have your save file.
Yep.
And I went back and I played a game. It was I was trying to play something, and I went back and played it, and I literally found my old save file on a 360 game. And I'm like, how did y'all like this? Is not even the same console. How do you have my save file? And again, it goes with the account system. But to me, they do it the best. Because when I load up my Xbox One that I had, all the games I'd ever played was there, and I could download them. I can download the 360 version of those games. And I'm like, wow, I can just download that game and play it on this. I don't need to go buy another disc. And that's the thing that to me that they do backwards compatibility right is that you can play around that system, and it has to do with the architecture, right? Their architecture is similar, so you can play older games on that system. And to me, I could never do that with Sony. I would have to either you would have to play it off the disc, or some other hoops and loops you would have to jump through for Sony's backwards compatibility. Xbox is the best, and it's by far better than everyone.
I got one. I got a contribution.
Right. So
I got a contribution.
You keep paying for the same game. Keep going there. So I get this one. I'll let you get to your contribution because I want to knock two of mine off real quick. So I think one of the coolest things they did was improvements. They probably have the best online community features than any other console. I think they outshine Sony. They outshine definitely Nintendo, but they outshine a lot of these. Say the Dreamcast, they have actually better online.
Cutting, we
get online talking. Nintendo is just dead in the water. But
Nintendo online is cutting edge, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Cutting every edge.
One of the things that they had that no one else has. Do you remember they had that online game show on the Xbox, with a 360 or Xbox One? There was an online game show that you can. All you had to do was be live on your Xbox. I think it was Xbox One. All you had to do was be live. It was called 1 versus 100. And you can literally play. Yeah, no, it was crazy. It came on twice a day. And you can literally win Xbox money by just being online on your Xbox Live, being online and playing. Their community features were better than everyone. Period. The fact that they even had a game show for their users can play, and I thought that was just something that so unique that no one has really even came close to replicating. So I thought that was cool.
So
Neville?
I guess I want to ask, and like I said, without doing the research, I feel bad, y'all. I can't contribute nothing. We talking about Microsoft's contributions, and I can't contribute nothing to it too much. But anyway, wasn't Microsoft the first to introduce game sharing, like sharing your clips of your games? Were they the first to do that? Where you can
that was on the PS4.
Was it the PS4? I thought that was Microsoft. Well, they did give us Game Pass. That's what I was finna say. They gave us Game Pass.
That's a good contribution. I know how people feel about it, but nobody else is doing it. And we can talk about them getting out of the console market and
well, it's not no one else is doing it anymore. Sony is doing it now.
I'm just saying they was the first to bring that to the table.
Well,
Sony's doing it as a response, is that for them?
With Sony, can you download the games or is it just streaming?
Yes.
You can download. Okay. I mean, when they first did it, it was just streaming.
They ain't doing. They ain't doing first party titles.
Not all the features. Not all the features,
okay.
But they are doing Game Pass in its idea.
Well,
idea
Microsoft does it the best. But they did what you said. They do it the best. So
yes,
we ain't talking
they're
about
doing the best. They are.
All right, so they the first to bring Game Pass. I got to get in here somewhere, y'all. I can't just sit back and I feel like I didn't do my homework. I feel like I'm the dude in class that didn't do his homework and can't answer nothing. Go ahead. Who else next? What's the next contribution?
No, I'm gonna yield it now and see if we can, if y'all want to move on or I got that's everything I got.
Okay, that's everything you got.
So I did have one more, and I think it's pretty big, and it's something that no. I've already gone through the one that I was talking about, but I think this is pretty huge. Well, actually, it's two of them that I'll speed through them. One is they did a great job, and I kind of talked about this several times. Is that Xbox was the first to kind of make this whole media center on your Xbox, like you do everything to your Xbox. I believe it's the Xbox One X that actually had a port that you can hook your cable TV up to your Xbox One X. Not One X, your Xbox One. Yeah, your Xbox One had a slot for your cable, and so you can run all your entertainment through your Xbox. And they made it a media hub. So that was something that they did I thought was really cool. But last one I wanted to say, which I think is pretty huge, and Sony tries it, but it's definitely not as good as they do it. Quick play or resume play.
Yep. So that's true.
That's a game changer. The fact that you can put your single player game on hold, switch to another game, load up exactly where you left off, and jump right back into playing without going through the intro or all the other stuff that comes with it. You can just quickly get back to the next game, but then you can quickly switch back to the other game and just continue. That is amazing. Sony has a piece of it, but it's only when you turn the system off, and it's only for one game. Right? So it's a very muted version of that. But what Xbox has is by far better than anything else anyone is doing. And I think that's a game changer. And I think you will see that on every other console going forward, even if it's maybe in a different version of it, but you're going to see that feature for the rest of gaming. It's too good of a feature for it to kind of die off. It will be continued and modified and improved upon.
Nice. That is, I don't even think you can technically do it on PC by just having several windows open, but they're not doing it like that.
Not like that.
Okay, shouts out to Nia. Welcome to the show. We understand. You here? Welcome to the show. She said, had to deal with some family matters. She's here though. Welcome. All right, so
Fred's talking about the Duke. He's talking about the biggest controller I have ever put in my entire hand.
The original controller.
They had that black. Remember, they had that black and white button up top.
Yeah.
Like for real. Like what was the point?
That black and white button, but you had buttons all the way at the bottom. Like you had to be a ninja to hit all the buttons on that original Xbox.
Yeah.
That thing was huge. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm happy they slimmed it down a little as they proceed to other versions of that controller. But that original controller, man, you could kill somebody with that controller. That was.
They literally got one of the best controllers out now, though. They really do.
We didn't touch on the Pro. Yeah, the Elite controller.
There
The Elite
it
controller is. The Elite
There you
controller
go.
is.
There you go, Fred. That big
Yeah.
one tries to look like a spaceship, like the Starship Enterprise,
It was
without
though.
without the main compartment just flying in. That thing was huge.
It was huge, bro.
And them buttons, man. Yeah, that thing was
Yeah.
huge and ugly.
That black and white button.
Yeah.
But Keith hit on another one though. That's
I was
another
right.
contribution.
It was the first controller with the offset analog.
Oh,
Yeah, you're right.
Congratulations, level. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hey, look, I like big stuff, man.
He sounded like a dick, but
I like
hey,
them big, but man, that's a little too much.
that's too much for me. Oh,
Yeah, I don't
man.
know what they was thinking. I guess because they was American. It was something about American versus Asians' hands, and they thought it would need to be bigger. I don't know. They was retarded.
That was bugging.
Yeah,
That
they
was
were.
bugging, bro. Ain't nobody had that big. You got Shaq holding that controller.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I don't know. I
So,
think that controller too big for me too.
So let's go to our next topic. So as y'all can see, they came ready. Your boy Level was, like I said, I was chilling. I didn't do my research. I apologize. So I couldn't contribute much there. Don't count it. But that's why I got these fellas here. They hold me down when I'm slacking.
Lord, that controller.
Slacking. Anyway, so K-Bun wanted to talk about, and we got a few more minutes. K-Bun wanted to talk about this game called Ratchet and Clank. What is it? Ratchet Clank Rifts Apart. Rifts Apart is now playable on PCs, right? And the whole conversation was a game capable of running without a solid state. Is that what it was? A SSD?
Yeah, it was Sony's SSD, right?
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing. Is that game really touted how good a powerful Sony SSD was. So people was like, because I think Insomniac came out and said this is only playable on the PlayStation or something like that,
Right,
on the
they
PS5. Yeah.
So, well, take over, man. You got it. You know what's going down.
No. Yeah, no. So, the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is finally available on. I don't think it's available yet. Is it available yet?
Yeah,
I think it is available
okay, cool.
on PC. Yeah, it is.
Nice. Available yet? So it's available now on PC, and you have Digital Foundry
I'm watching it
has
now. I
been
got
doing
it.
a review of Ratchet and Clank, and the biggest thing about Ratchet and Clank was that the power
Man,
of
this game
the
is beautiful.
SSD
Boy, this is a beautiful game.
was the main draw. Was that that's the thing that separated this from any other game you can play on your Xbox One X, right, or anything you can play on the PC. That this was so advanced that it needed a way more advanced SSD in order for it to be playable, right? And so people were speculating when they saw the original specs for Ratchet and Clank and saw that the lowest spec said a hard drive, a regular hard drive. And people laughed and mocked and say, see, I told you that this game was playable on any console. You could have played this on your PS4, and the SSD was just hype for Sony. And so Digital Foundry did their thing, and they started to review, and they had several versions of the game running, one on a very, very,
Max.
very high-end PC.
PlayStation 5 and a weak PC.
Yep, and a weak PC, which had an SSD, but it was the old school SSD. It wasn't a hard drive, but it wasn't the newer ones that needed like 5 to 7 read per whatever, I forget what it is, per second. And so they did the test, and what they saw was that the SSD for the PlayStation really does some heavy lifting. What they saw, even on some of the other powerful PCs, that they're noticing that without the SSD, that loading time is slightly longer, right? But what they found out on the older SSD and even the hard drive is that you can play the game, but once you get to those sections where you have to do the rifting, it becomes it's not even it's 10, 15 seconds, right? When on the PlayStation it was instantaneous, right? It was boom, you go from one spot to the next and boom, you're there. But on the older SSDs or even on the hard drive, which was like 20 seconds going from one spot to the next, that you can play the game, right? And you can air quote it playable, but the you can really see the power behind that SSD and what it does for this particular game. And that not even just this particular game, but for those particular scenes, because that's where you will see. Because everything else you can run it fine and it runs pretty good. So that was kind of the piece I wanted to kind of discuss, and and just put it out there that that they're kind of finding a very similar tone when it comes to the SSD, that it really is tied to the system when it comes to the PS5, and it kind of allows it to do. It allows it to punch higher than its weight class, the PS5, because we already know as far as terabytes, it is lower than the Xbox One X when it comes to teraflops, but that SSD does allow it to punch a little bit higher past its weight class. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Read what Nia said? She said all you got to do is download it on your SSD.
Yeah, they've kind of touched on both of those. I believe the one Rich was doing was a hybrid download that he was utilizing for that SSD, and they were still getting restrictions and issues when it came to the SSD, and so I thought it was pretty convincing. Some of the reports they were showing from the Digital Foundry when it came to the SSD, and especially the lowest setting when it came to the hard drive, which was just pretty bad.
Okay. Yeah, it's at 720p on the lower setting, I think. Keith, what you got to say, man?
I have not experienced this game yet for myself, and that's what I'm waiting on. I just bought it as we were sitting here. I forgot to buy it earlier. And I'm waiting on my key to pop up. So I will have real live hands-on experience to report. But I mean, K1 pretty much said it all, and Digital Foundry went through the whole thing. I don't really have much to say.
Okay.
But I'll let you know what my PC can do.
Okay.
That's what I can do.
What are you rocking?
I have an SSD. I have that Samsung. I don't know. It's like a 9080 or whatever, Evo 9080 or whatever.
That's compatible to the PlayStation, ain't it? Yeah, I believe so.
Is it
the PS5?
Okay.
I believe the 9080. I believe that's what I put in. No, I put a Western Digital in mine. So no, I didn't use a 9080, but that was one of the options, I believe.
Okay. I think that's what I got. 9080. Yeah.
All right. So basically, what's his name? Mark Cerny, the robot that spoke for them, was telling the truth. Basically, that not that it couldn't run on another system, but what they were able to accomplish with the PlayStation 5 and the SSD, they could not do that on the PlayStation 4 or any other system.
Not the PS4. No, not with that hard drive. There is. Yeah, it'd have been a Cyberpunk if if they try to do it on that hard drive, and that's the one actually. Rich did another part of it. Not this one you're looking at now, but Rich actually did. Rich is the guy from Digital Foundry. Actually did another video utilizing an original PS4 hard drive, and it was. It was 500. It was 540 RAM per second. Revolutions per second is what that hard drive was, and it was bad. It was pretty bad.
I'm
It was
gonna
it
find
was
that.
it was the worst out of all of them.
Let's see if I can find it. Rifts Apart. There it is right there. PS4. PS4. And then we're gonna pick you on into this this next with Are We Ready For that's 2 years ago. When did he do it, K-Ball?
It was part of that long 59-minute video.
And it's recent, right?
Yeah. It's recent. It's a 59 minute video that they did all their comparisons on. So it would have been on that one. So, but I don't know exactly what part that he did that on.
Yeah, I ain't finna try to find that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to find it.
But no, speaking of the PlayStation, so there's rumors that we could possibly see a PlayStation 5 Pro at least being announced maybe next year. So my question is, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we ready for a PlayStation 5 Pro? I think I asked this before, but I'm just curious. Are we ready for a PlayStation 5 Pro? Is there a need for real?
The Switch says no.
Well, that's
And the
a good
reason
way
I
to
say
answer.
it, yeah, the Switch says no because I'm enjoying my games from Pikmin to Zelda. I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy Mario RPG later on this year. Going back, I've enjoyed Kirby, some game I would have never tried to pick up. So no, I don't, and it's not even about how they utilize the hardware to its fullest capability, which I don't think they have, but have they utilized their talent and their creativity? Now I know talent and creativity doesn't always sell, so I understand that they got to put the money out there, and so they can put the product out there so they can get the money, you know. So just trying to be creative and all, artsy or whatever, it doesn't always work. However, again, the Switch, in my opinion, is showing you that all you really have to do is make really, really good creative games and people will come. Now, I know I'm speaking to like a Nintendo side of my brain or whatever, because I know there's another side of me that has my PC that wants that bleeding edge technology. I want to see those clean, crisp graphics. I want to see all that too. But the PS5 can deliver that. Can it deliver me a Tears of the Kingdom? And it doesn't have to be Zelda. I'm just using it as an example. Can it deliver me an experience like that? And I think it can, but I don't think, and like you said, I don't know if there's a reason for it. I know K-Bone will have more to say because, y'all have more to say because y'all actually own the console. But for me, I'm still looking for that reason to say, yo, this is why the PS5 exists. You could say rip apart, but in my opinion, it still looks like Ratchet and Clank at the end of the day.
Woo.
You know what I'm saying?
You'll get a different opinion when you actually see it.
No, I'm not talking about the graphics. I'm just talking about
Okay.
the gameplay and stuff. Yeah,
Okay,
I know it looks good. I've seen
Okay.
it. No, I ain't gonna front on that. But yeah, that's my take.
Okay, I see what Fanatic first name basis saying down. He said no. We and I'm playing I'm gonna jump in here and I'm gonna give it to you, K-Bond. Right now I'm playing the trailer for Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 5. And I'm gonna be honest with you. This trailer looks amazing, right? Like if the game
The
looks
second
like
trailer,
this,
yes.
it is, and that's why I'm going to say no too. I'm going to say no. I mean, I'm with Microsoft on this. What? And I know Microsoft has another reason for why they probably are not going to do that, but Sony, and Sony doesn't have to do this. This is not necessary. And I'm pretty sure some people out here may want it, and because they always want the next best thing. They just need something to spend their money on. But if I'm just going off of do we need it? Is it a need? I even saw a developer say we don't really need it right now, but I'm gonna say no. I don't think it's needed, but I mean that's not gonna stop them from doing it. But go ahead, K-Ball. I don't think they need it. Me personally, I'm with Fnatic.
So I'm gonna say this. I and it's the same story every time, and it's the fact that what they say the original one can do, it doesn't. Right? Last time it was 1080p 60 frames per second. Remember that promise?
Yeah.
Right? Or 4K. There was 4K at 30 or 60, whatever. They couldn't do that. We were doing checkerboard based, and for this one, it was 4K 60. All right, we're not doing 4K 60. We can't do that. They even said PlayStation even stupidly said something about some 8K. They need to shut up with that. And so it hasn't delivered what it said it was going to deliver. But here's why I say I can lean towards need. Okay, I can lean towards need, and Keith can. I don't know if he's seen it or played it, but there has been advancement in ray tracing that PlayStation and Xbox systems have been left behind in because of their graphic cards. If you were able to see Cyberpunk in Psycho mode and Psycho RT mode, it was probably the most beautiful thing I've ever laid my eyes on. It was 4K? Was it 4K 60? With full tracing, full ray tracing, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. And there have been far improvements and better improvements in ray tracing technology with the newer graphic cards that can allow these gaming systems to be able to do at least a consistent 60 frames per second with ray tracing turned on. Probably not 4K, probably a 1080, but a consistent 1080 ray tracing 60, which would change the way that the games are used. Because right now, the ray tracing is used on a very elementary basis. It's just little shadow here, a little element here, a reflection, but it's not using the full onboard ray tracing that we saw in Cyberpunk's Psycho mode that they can pull off. And so that's the only thing that makes me, and like I said, the graphics card, there's been a jump with the graphics card to be able to provide higher levels of ray tracing with these graphics cards. And so that's the only thing I would lean towards saying yes, is if they can improve the graphic cards in these systems so that they can deliver a higher fidelity when it comes to higher resolution and better ray tracing, then I can see that, because that's where we're going in the PC realm, and I can see us doing that in the console. Other than that, it's not needed.
Okay.
Why?
So you see, that's K-Ball. You take us on that whole ride across the bridge, tell you to look at the water, so we can get across the bridge. Said you don't need none of that. Now I'm like, okay.
Okay, but let me tell you why you might not need it.
Okay.
How many Unreal 5 games have come out already?
That's my
on
point.
console.
Thank you. That's my point. That's what I was about to
How
say.
many Unreal Nanite may be able to do on a certain level what we're looking for ray tracing, hardware ray tracing to do. And Nanite may be able to do that. We haven't even got an influx of UV5 games. I think Remnant 2 is either the second or third Unreal 5 game. I don't know how many that is. Maybe that's the third one so far. Yeah, that's like maybe the third Unreal title, Unreal 5 game. So I think Fortnite's Unreal 5 now. Yeah, Fortnite it was the first. Fortnite was the first, and I think Callisto Protocol used the UE5, and then Remnant used UE5. But I don't think there's very many out there, and we all know. The UE engine is the standard. That's what I believe Tekken is using, the UE engine. The new CD Projekt Red is going towards the UE engine, right? And so we know that's going to be the thing, UE5, and we don't even see those titles yet. So that makes me lean to I think we can wait a little bit. To me, 2025 will be a better year than 2024. If that's the case.
Let me add this. Okay, so you brought up when you was making your case for it, you brought up the broken promises, right?
Yep.
They promised us with the PlayStation 3 HD, you know what I'm saying? They were trying to talk about, HD, then the PlayStation 4 was supposed to be 1080p, 60 frames per second, right? Or was it supposed to be 4K? No, yes. 1080p, 60 frames. They didn't make that promise. They gave us the Pro. The Pro was trying to make good on the promise. Still didn't make the promise real. But with the PlayStation 5, they started to upscale all these games. I remember Ghost. I remember God of War 2018. I remember Miles Morales. Why I said Miles Morales? But Miles Morales. And you had the option of performance mode, performance RT, or RT 30 frames, right? 4K 30 frames. This is what I came to realize. Before I didn't get it, but the PlayStation 5 made me realize we may have allowed the industry to sell us stuff that we really don't even need. When I saw, and you could go back to Ratchet and Clank, you can go back to Miles Morales, 1080p at 60 frames per second is gorgeous.
With ray tracing.
With a smidgen of ray tracing.
Oh no, it wasn't smidgen. It was pretty decent ray tracing. It wasn't
okay. I ain't know.
It's pretty decent.
But it's gorgeous. The same with, but it did kind of fluctuate on resolution in certain spots. Yeah,
it would drop to like 960 or something like that. Or
but when I would watch
40,
when I would play Ratchet and Clank Rifts Apart on that mode, when I played Miles Morales on that mode, I didn't even care about the 4K.
I didn't either. And
that's my point. Like, have we clearly these points are selling points to get us to for they can justify the price and get us hyped and buying a new device. But 1080p 60 is still, man, it's gorgeous.
It's good. It's good.
And I'm like, do we need? That's my point. At what point are we just buying stuff so we can say that it's 4K or 8K, like you just said? There's no point even talking about no 8K, but they are. And it's like, I'm just realizing 1080p, 60 frames per second, ray tracing is fine for me. Like, I could literally see stuff all the way down. The draw distance was retarded. And I'm like, aren't we at a place where it's just talk for talk's sake? It really has no bearings on the actual quality of what we see, because 1080p, 60 frames per second, RT is ridiculous.
It's good.
That's where I'm saying no. I don't.
But the problem is not everybody can even do that though.
What you mean?
Not everyone can pull off what Insomniac is able to pull off.
True.
Well, that's another reason why we're not ready.
That's the statement. No.
Oh, you talking about as developers?
as developers.
Then they need to go sit down.
Just like not everyone can pull off what Tears of Kingdom pulled off. That's not an easy feat. What Tears of Kingdom was able to do with their engine. That's not an easy feat.
I get
That's why developers were flipping out at how well it was. It's the same thing when it comes to visuals and consoles. But the PS5, Insomniac has the best looking games than almost than any game other than Horizon. Horizon that's a different story. But their 1080p ray tracing is better than I put that against anyone's ray tracing. Anyone's. Jedi Knight, Jedi Survivor was their 60 frames per second, or 30 frames per second ray tracing was not even close. And they couldn't even do 60 with ray tracing. Their performance mode. It couldn't do 60. It did about 50, 40, 43. And that's what I'm saying. And that game is, 2 years after Ratchet. And they couldn't even do a Callisto Protocol had ray tracing.
They need to go sit down with Insomniac and them and figure out what they doing.
It couldn't successfully. I'm saying 60 performance mode ray tracing is not easy. Even the 1080p. Other studios are having so much trouble doing that. What Insomniac is able to do is bar setting, just like how developers for Zelda is. They set the bar and it's high, and developers see that and like, how are you doing that?
I mean,
and yes, Neil, we are crackheads. Because I am for graphics. I'm a crackhead.
But that's my point. Like, okay, if we seeing the possibility that we ain't even scratching the surface, to me, what it says, if we haven't even scratched the surface of what these systems can actually do before we already acting like we have tapped out. And it's like when you see a developer studio like Insomniac who made the game on the PlayStation 3 Sun.
Infamous.
Who made that?
That's Insomniac.
Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch. Sorry, that's Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch. Okay, so to me,
Sucker Punch. They're the same ones who made that one of the most beautiful PS4 games we've ever seen. Which was Ghost of Tsushima.
Right. That's my point. These development studios are showing that we are not even tapping the capabilities of the current. Well, let me finish.
They're not showing that we're not tapping. They're maxing it. They're trying to max it out already.
I know, but
because these games are running at 30 frames per second. If they was maxing them out and showing what the system can do, that'd be at 60 frames. Easy.
That's my point. I'm saying they are showing that they, in their attempt to max it out, they're showing that these systems still have a lot to offer that has not been realized yet. It takes some ingenuity. It takes some smart, some trial and some errors of really putting some time into developing quality. What I'm thinking of? What the studio what they develop their games on engines, making quality engines to get quality games, and it seemed like, to me, that should be the mindset across the board with these developers, instead of just give me a more powerful system. It's like, but so we got another system for what? Oh, because you didn't want to go through the effort of figuring it out and perfecting your craft. Now just give me something else so I can just throw it at it, and it doesn't become.
That's not what I see.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Okay, I'll let you finish your point.
No, I'm done. I'm just saying that's what it seems like to me. Like, you're not going through you don't want to go through the rigors to figure out how Insomniac is doing it, how Sucker Punch is doing it, how Nintendo with a Switch is doing it. You don't want to take the time.
Those are first party titles though.
Well, Insomniac wasn't always the first party though.
No, they've been only making Insomniac when they came back. They pretty much a pseudo first party.
Well, they made. I was singing
Overdrive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was singing their praises there. I said when I saw that game and they said they was making Spider-Man for the PlayStation, I knew Spider-Man was finna be amazing based off that game. Sucker Punch. I guess they may be a second party studio to Sony. My point is
they've been making first party games for a long time for them.
What's not true, Nia? I'm making sure it takes talent. You said not true. Give me. They did Sunset Overdrive Okay, I'm answering what you're saying. So yeah, they did Sunset Overdrive. They were more of a third party. Sony kind of brought them into like a second party situation.
No, they were making first party. They were making Sony only titles.
They was making the scoop, but
they did Resistance. They were the Resistance. They were making. It wasn't until Sunset Overdrive where they said, okay, we're done making PlayStation only games, and then they switched over and made Sunset. Before that, everything they made was only for Sony.
I agree. My point is what they learned how to do, they was able to continue that process over on the Xbox, and even when they came back to Sony, it didn't matter where they was. They were just that good. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. They just that good. It don't matter what platform they dealing with. They are that good. I'm saying they showing that these systems can do some amazing things with talent, time, and effort. CD Projekt Red, even with Cyberpunk, and they screwed up with Cyberpunk, but
royally,
they should have held it back and got it right. But they even now that
they should have not put it on last gen is what they should have did.
There you go. But they showing that, like what the game is today, if they release it like that, that would have been a groundbreaking game.
Amazing game.
So I'm saying we haven't even scratched the surface.
That is the point that I disagree.
No. Let me reframe it. Reframe it. You're right. I'm saying I figured out what I just said. I said scratch the surface. We have not shown that we have reached the full potential of these systems.
I agree with that.
And I don't know where we at with that because we only 2.5 years in, and you already tried
21, right? 20. It was COVID. So it's 2020.
COVID, so it's 2023.
So almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years, and you already trying to give me another system when, like you said earlier, K-Bum. Now I said quiet on all the other topics because I couldn't interject. So let me get mine out before we get out of here. All these, we don't have hardly no games, and you trying to give me another system? I don't agree with that. But go ahead and make your point.
No, I was really just disagreeing with yours. No,
okay.
No, I was just
this is Double Dragon right here, y'all. If y'all haven't seen it,
I was just disagreeing with the point that we haven't scratched the surface because we do have developers that are trying to make amazing games, and a lot of times developers get slack as they're lazy, they're not really trying, they wanted the easy route. No, the developers are trying to make great games. There are plenty of developers. Cyberpunk did not fail because they were not trying to make a great game. They tried to make the most beautiful game that has ever existed. They messed up because they made bad decisions, not because they were lazy, not because they were trying. It's not you. I'm just saying that there's a feel for developers that they're lazy, they're just trying to get by and stuff like that.
Can I push back? I want to push back.
It's not directed towards you. No, it's not directed towards you.
I know, but I'm still going to push back.
We had a conversation with I forgot who was in here last time, and that was kind of their
argument.
Their argument about it, that they were kind of lazy and just trying to get by. You do have those, like whoever made that game for Nintendo that was supposed to be like The Last of Us. Whoever made that game.
But see, okay, that's the thing. I would push back. I'm gonna push back. I ain't gonna say. I won't necessarily say that they lazy, but what I will say is they're not trying to exhaust themselves with their engines to get the best out of their engine. Like, it's like they almost just dump it on there and like with the codes and all that stuff, just dumping it on there raw like that and not really optimizing and not do like it's clear that Insomniac is going through the rigors. They're going the extra mile. And that's why their games look like that. It's clear that Nintendo, even on a weak system, is going the extra mile to do what they're doing. And then you got these studios that's like, wow, because they're going the extra mile. I'm not saying you're being lazy, but you ain't going the extra mile. You go by Epic's.
I don't know.
You go by Epic's engine, like what is it? Unreal 4, Unreal 5, and you just throw it at it. And I'm not saying they're not putting no effort for it. I don't want to discredit them like that. In my mind, I could be wrong. I could be speaking from darkness and absolutely wrong. But it feels like this, that they're not going the extra mile. And then you see an Insomniac, and they marvel at Insomniac. They marvel at Naughty Dog. And I feel like them studios go the extra mile. They trying to get every nook and cranny out of it where other studios wouldn't even think to do that. Like if I use Horizon. Naughty Dog with water. Remember in the first Horizon when she got in the water, it didn't even splash?
Yep.
That would never happen with a Naughty Dog. That would never happen with Insomniac because they going to think of that stuff. But the game was beautiful. Horizon of Zero Dawn was a beautiful game, but you walked in water and it didn't even move. That's what I mean. Like that type of, it's like, go ahead.
I watch these people. I don't know if you watch this, called Corridor Digital. It's the people on YouTube, and they review VFX effects in movies and stuff like that. So they review them. Okay. And it's funny because a lot of times, people think that the visuals in the VFX that they just lazy and just try to, put the shot in together and hurry up and just get the shot out there, right? But from people who understand VFX, what they tell you is the biggest factor between a shot that looks absolutely amazing and a one that looks like crap. The biggest factor is time. That's the biggest factor. And if you have a development studio, or you have a publisher, or you have a organization, or you have management that is like, get this, and that's what happened to Cyberpunk. It was time. They wanted, the people in power wanted the game out now. It's time and money is sometimes it's the difference between an amazing shot and a shot that's like, because what they showed Weta Digital. Weta Digital is the people who did Avatar, right? And they showed Avatar, which is amazing, and they show another product that Weta did, and it's like, what the crap is that? And they said this is the difference between pre-vising and working on a shot for years and one that someone wanted in 6 months. And I'm saying the game is being done in 6 months. The point I'm trying to make is there is another factor, which is time, and it's how much. And as we saw with Sony when it comes to their first party, when it came to God of War, when God of War says we have to delay this game, it is not ready, and Sony says, let us know when it's ready. They gave them the freedom to make sure and that this game is, because God of War is some of the least buggiest games that we've seen on consoles. There's usually very little bugs when it comes to God of War because they have time to make this game right. And some of the time what we see is that. So I just wanted to make sure I put that out there.
I was going to kind of talk about that too. It's like, yeah, time is money. They can't go out here and be as creative as we would want them to be. They gotta. It's like, I can imagine being in one of those rooms and they gotta hit certain points, graphics, big explosions, audio, celebrity, voice actors, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So they gotta hit all of these things and they gotta hit them quickly. But you might have some developers within that same studio that really was like working on this little small game that they really want to get out. And I know we talked about Pikmin and you talked about the budget of the marketing and that they don't market it the same way. But there are certain types of creative games that just don't exist on these platforms or aren't acknowledged or not marketed. We're constantly looking at the Spider-Mans, the Horizon Zero Dawns, Halos, and all these other games, but we're not looking at those other games. And I think if we were to give those other games a try, we would emphatically say we don't need this next console. Okay, I agree, K-Mon, ray tracing. They have improved ray tracing on Cyberpunk, even on my PC. I'm like, yo, this looks amazing. The reflections, my God, this is real. Like, that's real. But at the same time, I'm sitting here playing a master detective game, and I'm like, I don't even need the most bleeding edge to find enjoyment, right? And I think that's the point that's getting lost. Like, oh, the PS5 Pro, it can do this, do that, but yeah, that doesn't equate to enjoyment. You know what I'm saying? It just makes things more bleeding edge. But are we losing the enjoyment, the fun factor of gaming? You know, like you said, these big corporations, these leaders, they're coming at them with like, hey, we got to get this out. We spend all this money, yada yada yada. But the creativity doesn't always equal, residual pay. So
right,
it's a different factor from what we're looking at it from a consumer standpoint, right?
Yep.
And they're looking at it from, we got to make sure Call of Duty is always the next best version of the next Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? We got to push that envelope, and we're like, but I'm having fun with the old one. I don't think I need this one.
Right. let me send a shout out to Cherry, man. What's up, Cherry, man? Welcome to the show. What's up? So carrying on for what you just said, Keith. All right. So with what you just said, then why would we need? Okay, if the studios don't give these developers time, right? Then how is a new system fixing it?
You can do more with more. It's going to wrap around the same problem, but if you have a little bit more headroom, you can get more out of it without digging deeper.
Without having to go through the
Okay,
right.
let me make this statement then. We said the PS3, they promised us 1080p 1080p 60 frames a second, right?
I don't know if they promised 60 frames, but they definitely promised 1080p.
1080p. They weren't talking about future The Last of Us or future what's the other game Uncharted did? No, Uncharted. Yeah, thank you. I said it anyways. Naughty Dog is what I was trying to say. They weren't talking about those games. They was talking about current games. So therefore, their statement is not a lie. They can run PS2 games or early PS3 games at 1080p, maybe 30 frames. Maybe 60 frames a second. They weren't lying. But when these developers get this technology, and when they get this PS5 Pro, when they get those dev kits in there, they're going to push it even further. And we're still going to be playing games at 1440p sub 30. Because now we get, like K-Bone just said, we can do more with more. We don't have to just settle for this. We could do this. And they'll accept it because they've already accepted it. They've already accepted 30 frames a second. We don't really have to give them 60 frames a second. So they're going to continue to push the graphics, and the promises that we know that they can give us, they're not going to give it to us because they're too busy trying to push the visuals. But can they give us 1080p, 60 frames a second PS2 games on the 360? On the PS3? Absolutely. But they're not going to do it because the developers are pushing the envelope. So it's not a false statement. It's a true statement.
I see your point.
I'm with you. I'm just saying. I guess I said it. I don't have to repeat. I say no. We don't need a PlayStation 5 Pro. I would love for these studios, and I feel what K-Bum said. And I feel what you're saying, Keith. You made a good point, and K-Bum made a good point. You elaborated on it. Time, but some of these games do be in development for 5-6 years now.
Metroid Prime 4.
Well, that's the first party title. That's the first party. So Nintendo gonna take their time until they feel like it's ready. That's why Tears of the Kingdom was like it was. Insomniac is going to have the liberty, like K-Bum said, to take their time. I really appreciate watching that documentary of God of War 18 being made and the fact that they didn't feel rushed. They was able to realize their vision, and we was benefited from it. So that's one thing is, like K-Bum said, time. We wouldn't have the situation with EA and Anthem and all these other games that's overly ambitious.
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect. So, but to me, I don't know if y'all tackling what I'm saying, but you kind of did. You said if they had the time, they could do it. And since they don't have the time, you saying more power ends up giving them, helping them out because you don't have to spend as much time.
It helps, but they do the same thing like you said. They
right, and that's my right. Right.
Yeah, some studios may end up in the same boat.
The same. So is it the developers, or is it the shirts, the tie, the suits? Because
it depends. It depends on it's a case by case. It's case by case. It's not always the developer. It's not always the suits, right? It's not a blanket. You can't, because sometimes, as Nia says, sometimes the talent isn't there. That those developers just don't have the talent to get out of the game what they're trying to get out of it, and it doesn't. The suits doesn't matter.
So
time doesn't matter. They just don't have the talent.
So
it's a case by case thing.
Then it don't matter the platform. Then does it? If they don't have the talent, you're not going to get the Mona Lisa out of it. That's my point. Ultimately that's what I'm getting at. Is either talent or effort. And Nia saying it's talent. Okay, so I can see it's talent. Then y'all don't. It's like me. I'm not going out here if my daughter ain't really good at track. Why am I going to spend all these money on these new shoes? You see what I'm saying? If you ain't competing, why am I going to get you the most expensive shoes to run with when you ain't competing? I'm gonna get you some regular shoes, and you can go out there and have your experience. But if you out there really competing and showing some signs of, because I'd rather give Insomniac that power because they already showing me they gonna put it to use. A lot of these studios is not putting this stuff to use, and it's just another powerful system that we bought for them to do what Keith said, the same stuff. Look at where we at. I bet you the PS4 could have did, maybe not ray tracing, but if they took some time to optimize, they probably could have got 1080p 60 frames.
But but one of the things that I saw from the developer, and they said why they weren't putting their game on a certain system. It's because they were going to put it on the other system because it could not represent the vision that they had for the game, and that's something that we still need to make sure we're understanding when we're talking about. Yeah, it can run on the PS4. Yeah, but it's not going to give me. It doesn't run with the vision that I had for this game. This is how I expect it to look. This is how I expect it to perform, and so therefore I'm not going to put that. Just like you can put almost anything on the Switch. We've already talked about that.
I agree with you. Can I ask a question?
But if it's,
are we believing them though, or is that just a talking point?
Fortnite on the Switch is not what they imagine Fortnite to look like.
But that's right. But wait a minute. We're not talking about Nintendo. We talking about the two companies that give these developers what they want. So my question is. They say this all the time. We can't realize our vision, right? But then they get the more powerful system, and they do what Keith said. They do the same stuff that they did on the previous system, and then turn around. We can't realize our vision. Well, wait a minute. Here we are. Insomniac is doing it. Sucker Punch is doing it. What, and they doing it on every system that come. They able to get their vision. Y'all can't get y'all vision. They give you more power. You have the bells and the whistles for the opening of the gen. Then again, we need more power. It's like, man, something is wrong with these studios. Something is wrong with these 155, 200 gig games.
You do have to understand that they are measuring themselves against what the PC space is doing as well.
I got you. I'm not
Because
knocking that.
you have the console, but they are measuring themselves against what the PC can do, which is 460, 4K. I said 460. Shoot, 4K, 60 frames per second. You are measuring. It's not just measuring against the PC, the PS5 at this point.
But
It is also measuring against, and I'm not
and
saying
how
a
much
blanket
are you
statement.
spending? How much
If
are
we
you
have,
spending?
because we have to give case by case. We have to know which studio we're talking about, what statement they made, and then be able to respond. Because
I
it's not always the same answer for each studio.
I
So I
agree
don't
with
want to do a
that.
generalized statement.
I agree with that. I'm saying, okay, taking your point, we can get out of here because we're going on 2 hours 30.
Whoo,
I'll
Lord.
take your point and then we can table it.
No problem.
But you said that they measure themselves to PC. I agree. Most likely for the last, I would say at least last 3 gens, PC has been what they've been measuring themselves to. But as Keith can attest, and reason why we don't do PC gaming, because to get the best out of people, we just saw it with Ratchet and Clank. To duplicate what that was doing, that was an expensive PC. Am I wrong, Keith?
It's definitely more than the
Yeah.
PS5.
Well, how much would that PC cost if we wanted to get? You looking at what, about 1,500?
I thought he said 3K.
Okay, so why are you measuring yourself against something that's 8 times the cost of the system you development for?
It's still the competition.
It's not really. It's not the competition.
Well, if you're an artist, then it's still the competition.
We may have to talk about it. I feel like you are making this. Is what I feel, K Bum. I feel like they are using that and bringing us into looking at that to justify what they doing and constantly lead more. And it's like we just said, but 1080p 60 frame RT is good. We was getting that on. We could get that on the last gen. Well, we can't get the RT.
Can't get RT.
But you see what I'm saying? I think we started to realize these companies just fluffing us with a whole bunch of jargon to make us get excited for these bells and whistles that, like Keith said, we never gonna see outside of certain studios who gonna actually take the time to get it, to actually realize that most of these studios are not. The EAs, the Ubisofts, all of them, they have mastered copy and paste. Give me more power so I can throw more at it, copy and paste. That's what I'm saying. But I ain't a developer, you are, so I'm respecting you because you are a developer. You in that world. You kind of know how it works. And I commend you for always defending that. But from just looking at it from a consumer's lens, it's to me, it's something wrong with these companies. It ain't these systems. It's them. It's them because we see what Nintendo is able to do. We see what first party is able to do. Why can't these other companies do it? I commend Insomniac. I really do. I mean, that Spider-Man trailer looks absolutely ridiculous. And
That's amazing.
So, yeah. Anything else Neil said? Insomniac is showing out on 2 platforms. That means they have talent. Right. So, somebody needs to find, because Nintendo got a lot of talent. Sony got a lot of talent. Microsoft buying talent. So they buying it. So they said we ain't out this either. But EA, what has happened to EA? What's going on with EA? They bought studio after studio and killing them. What's going on with Ubisoft? What's going on where?
Because you understand these studios you're naming are the ones with terrible upper management.
Right.
No.
Upper management. I said right.
Management.
I heard what you said. I said right. I said right.
Or you said talent.
I said talent, they are. When you said upper management, I said right.
Nah, they're able to get the best of the best. They're EA. They're Ubisoft. They're able to get the best of the best. But when they say this is what you're gonna make, that's what you're gonna make. With all that talent, that's what you're gonna make. And so
Assassin's Creed be some of the best looking. It is rushed. It ain't ready. It's buggy as heck.
It's lifeless. And it's lifeless.
Yeah. But it looks amazing.
It looks amazing.
when it can run.
Yeah. They got plenty of talent over there, man. But it's just
Right, I agree with you. So you saying it's the suits?
I'm saying for those two places you named, it's the suits.
Okay, then I feel
those
comfortable.
two.
I feel
the other
comfortable
ones
saying
I don't know.
we don't need a PlayStation Pro. That it all keep coming around to honestly we don't. Look, man, look at this. Look at Venom, man. Look at that. And you telling me we need a new system? I haven't even enjoyed this on this system that much. And you trying to get me to buy something else more powerful?
And I like I said, I say in 2 years. I say in 2025, I think it makes more sense.
I say don't give us nothing until you ready for a new system. I don't want no mid-tier nothing. When you're ready to give us a new PlayStation 6, then until then, we don't need it. That's what I'm saying. The PlayStation Pro wasn't, I would say there was a need for the PlayStation Pro. I don't think they need it for this generation. I think they needed it because the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One were weak at launch. We all knew that.
Yeah, they were outdated.
They were outdated at launch. The
Real
only
quick.
system on the market right now that needs a refresh, to me, is the Switch.
It's that S.
It's the S.
that S. I don't know.
Yeah.
I understand they were trying to do their mid-gen and their base system at the same time, but good Lord, that S is.
I mean, the S
I
is for a
don't
certain
believe that.
market. I don't think the S needs to be.
That's what they said. They said they gave
I know
you
what
both
they
at the
said.
same time. That's their words.
Well, Chariot Man, there's rumors out here that a PlayStation 5 Pro is on the horizon, and it's building steam. Is actually starting to show some signs of smoke to be true. And knowing Sony and Microsoft saying they're not doing it, knowing Sony as we know, so Sony giving us a controller that's basically a gamepad for the PlayStation 5, y'all.
Ugh.
Nobody asked for this, but they giving it to you anyway.
Nobody actually.
Nobody. So I guarantee you they give you something that we didn't ask for, which is a PlayStation 5 Pro, because they know Nintendo coming with something new. And as much as they try to act like Nintendo ain't competition, they are. And they already trying to, and it's like Sony. Sony has, let's just be real. The PlayStation 5 is dang near perfect. It's close to perfect. It is. Let's just be real. They got the best development studios between Xbox and Sony. That's all they need because they're never going to be able to compete with what Nintendo does over there. That's what Nintendo does. That's their niche. And Sony shouldn't even try to match Nintendo there. Let Nintendo have that. Beat Microsoft. Long as you beat Microsoft, you good. They system was well designed. Clearly, it was. We can't deny it. We haven't seen none of this from Microsoft. We have not seen a game on the Xbox Series X that matches any first party on Sony to date. All they gotta do is keep feeding this beast of a system, and they good, and they already finna throw you another choice. Like, no, it's like, stop being threatened by everything that's moving around you and thinking you gotta adjust. Do what Microsoft doing. Stay the course, Sony, you winning. Don't add another device with another price into your equation. Just stay the course. That's where I'm at with it. I have my rant for the night.
That's what kills kills Sega.
Yeah, it's like they
That
react
was
too
Sega
much,
downfall.
man. They react
Sony
too
ain't
much.
Sega, though.
It's only not Sega, but Sega just kept putting out different consoles like every 2 years. Sega's 32, Sega CD, Sega Saturn.
Have we heard anything about
Bank
the
Pro.
virtual reality? What happened to the virtual?
It's selling under par.
Why are they trying to push that? Why ain't they trying to?
Because why they're not pushing that? You said.
Or why aren't they putting more marketing, more something to make instead of giving us a new console?
Because you got to put the money with what sells.
I mean, I can see a Slim. I ain't got no problem with a Slim. They want to
Yeah,
do something like that.
I think a Slim should come.
Yeah, Slim is cool, but a Pro, nah. And get this controller out of here, Sony. Take that mess and take it, put it up, or be honest. We was trying to, we like
cute?
what the, huh?
You talking about that cute? Whatever that controller was?
I mean, I ain't knocking it. Hey, if it works like the gamepad, hey, I wouldn't be mad at it.
I'm not buying that.
No, I ain't say I would. I said if it worked like the gamepad, I would love to play Pikmin on it. Because that was Pikmin with the gamepad was dope. That was one of the reasons I kept playing it longer. So anyway, I had my rant for tonight. I apologize, y'all. I was quiet for most of the show because I couldn't contribute. But I'm just saying, man, I just feel like Sony. This is the stuff that Sony do that bothers me. It's like y'all react too much, and y'all do simple-minded things to be as good as they are. They do some simple-minded things like, why are you doing that? They reacting to Game Pass now. So they it's like, stop reacting to what other people are doing. Just do you. Do you. Microsoft doing everything they can to compete with you, and you reacting to them.
But Sony has always been, you doing that? Hey, we can do that too. Sometimes they do it better. Sometimes they do it better. Sometimes they do it worse.
And a lot of times you get a whole bunch of plastic devices that was pointless from them. All this stuff that, like, nah, man, stay the course. We don't need, if you're going to make a Slim, make a Slim. We don't need a Pro when this system ain't even, like, I'm not going to say be tapped. I get what you mean. I was saying I'm using the wrong word. This system has not even been utilized to its full capacity yet. You already trying to hand me something more strong. Like, this ain't cell phones, man. this ain't, we don't need a new phone every year. Anyway, that was the show for tonight. Let these dudes sign out. Starting with Mr. Norris. Go ahead, bro.
Yo, good show. Got a chance to learn some stuff. As always, it's one of my favorite things about this show. Got a chance to talk about Pikmin. So again, didn't hear it, go back. Excellent game. If you haven't played it, there is a demo. Go play it right now. We got Aliens, y'all. And the PS5.
Yeah, man, that's crazy right now.
And the PS5 Pro. Is it real? Do we need it? No one knows. But enjoy your PS5. The current PS5 with some amazing games, man. And I'm out.
All right. Go ahead, K-Bun.
No problem. And enjoy the podcast. Enjoy the back and forth and giving Microsoft some love finally. So they can't say we hate us, but not that much hate. But I enjoy the podcast. Hope you guys enjoy your time with us. And you guys take it easy and definitely catch up next time, man. Have fun.
All right. Let me say this, man. I commend y'all on tonight, man. Y'all really impressed me with y'all research, Keith. Especially you, Keith. You came with some stuff. I was like, man, that brother did some digging. You said you had dug, so appreciate you holding the show down. K-Bum, same with you, man. Y'all held it down. So I apologize. I clocked out on that topic. And it ain't because it was Microsoft. I just got too much going on from transitioning with the church, trying to move us, moving, and it's just so much going on. So I ain't get a chance to really get my research in. And when I started, we didn't have the podcast, so I stopped. And then after that, it was no returning to research. So shouts out to y'all for holding us down on that. But we'll be back next week, same time, same place. And I hope y'all enjoyed this show. Hey, man, we're trying to be consistent. Seem like we starting to pick up eyes again. You know how we do it. We keep it the livest and the most leveled in this gaming community. Shout out to Chariot Man. Go out over there and check out his podcast. This is a pretty good show. I don't know if y'all checked out Chariot Man's podcast, but it's real dope. I shared it on my Twitter. Chariot Man, put us out there as well, man. Let them know we over here, man, doing some things. Go out there and check out Sister Nia over there on Twitter. Go check her out as well. She always handing around the offer plate for us. She take care of us. And hopefully she put some more videos up because she knows she do her thing. Shouts out to DJ Fanatic, aka First Name Basis. DJ Fanatic, why you want? Man, I want to see First Name Basis again. Anyway, shouts out to Fred 215. Who else was in here? That was pretty much it, and a few others was watching. Shouts out to all you guys for tuning in. Until next time, that's right. First Name. Until next time, this was the Live 11 Gamers podcast. I am your boy Levelhead, and this was K-Bum20 and Mr. the one and only Keith Norris. We'll be back next week. Deuces, like I said, like, share, post us on Twitter, help us build the community back up where we can have some good time, balanced conversation, not no toxic conversation. I'm enjoying gaming again, Nia. I got away from the toxic stuff and I play games again. I realized what it was. I had to get away from some people. I play my games. K-Bum get too toxic, I'm get away from him too. No, that's okay. But anyway, this was the show. Till next time, deuces.
But we got smashed, bro. But we got smashed, bro. But we got smashed, bro.